Thank you for joining us on our series in my bag and the first to kickstart this entire series with us. And we've watched your journey and we're inspired by the things you've done and what you've been able to achieve so far from where you started up to this point. And we're just going to jump right in to ask you some of the questions that I'm sure a lot of people would also like to ask you if they had a chance to meet you. So the first question is, you studied zoology. That is something very clear. But today you're into making, yeah, today you're into making shoes. So could you describe exactly what happened, what caused the switch?
I'll just probably just ask and say a lot of people, a lot of us in Nigeria, we didn't eventually study practice what we studied in school. And I'm pretty sure that when we were all studying zoology, we had absolutely no plans of working in zoo. Just a few, maybe like 10% of my 10% of my classmates that went on to further in the zoology department. But as soon as I finished school, I went into a marketing and advertising career, which I loved, and it was absolutely cool. I started working as soon as I finished my NYSC in 2013, right? 2013, 2014, and then I got a job in marketing, and that's how I started marketing and advertising career, which I eventually switched to shoemaking in 2017. One of the determining factors that helped me to make that switch was my husband. I'll say that he plays like a very huge role because the shoemaking business was basically his idea, and we partnered to start it out. We partnered to start up the business, but I wanted to play like a side business
Low
role
key
in the
person.
business. So even though we co-founded the business together, I was doing my own side of work on a part-time basis. But business took up almost immediately, and there was need to now give it full attention and to step out in faith. And because one of the reasons why I didn't want to do it full time was because I just thought it was crazy for two couples to become entrepreneurs and just put all their eggs in one basket. And the risk of starting a business. What if it doesn't work out? Are we going to go hungry if we resign from our jobs and stuff like that? So I was like, okay, fine, you can do this, and then I'll be working. But then, I wasn't giving the business my very best, and just had to resign, and then we had to give it our entire best. We even had a pharmacy at that time. We had a pharmacy, and we eventually had to sell so that we can concentrate on running the footwear business. Yeah. So yeah, that was the switch. That was just the summary of the switch, really.
Yes, yes. So, how exactly do you feel being a co-founder? Because, yeah,
How does it
how
feel?
do you feel? Yes, being a co-founder.
That's an interesting question. Nobody has ever asked me that question before. I don't know how I feel. um, I could say it's um, I don't know how to answer that question honestly. Like, how do I feel being a co-founder? It's a responsibility. It's good. It's good that the good thing about it is that two heads are better than one. Um, and it helps us stay guided. The fact that my husband and I we have two different personalities, and we bring our personalities into the business. So um, like there are different times where he would want to take a risk, a business risk, and I'm the cautious one. I think I'm mostly always the cautious one. But and then there are times when we have different roles in the business. I'm more of I do most of the marketing. I'm mostly most of the face that people see in the business. He does most of the sourcing of materials, operations, and you know hands on. I do most of the proposition, fundraising, And we have like two distinct individual roles. I have people in my department and he has people in his department. Like, I mean, I have like a team that reports to me. He has a whole team that reports to him. And it's interesting. It's something we've been able to work on from the beginning. We even have a founders agreement and all. So we put in, one of the things that helped us was that we put in even because we've had an investor that was interested in our business, and one of the questions he asked us was, what happens when you both separate? And we were looking at him like,
So beyond,
God forbid.
yes, beyond family business.
Yes, so it's a risk to invest in a family, in a couple. It's also good, but then it's also a risk, and we have to put in that founders agreement and all, and we have to clearly define rules. And I don't think it's I think everybody already, even in the business, every team member already knows who to talk to about something or who to get approval for something, and it works really well. I would say the experience of being a co-founder is a good one because it helps you. Like, there are things I want to send out, and I'll say, please, can you just look at this again? And then he'll look at it and give a second opinion about it, and it helps. Especially when I had a baby, I don't think I coming back to work was hard. Like, it was really hard. As There's something they call it pregnancy brain. So you forget a lot of things. I feel like I had to teach myself how to do a lot of things with him, and he was really instrumental in helping me out. And the fact that the business continued and decisions were made without me, fine. I think I like being it. I like the fact that you have another person that is in the executive team and the founding team that started up business with you, that understands the business from the onset and running things with you. Yeah.
Very interesting. So, would also like to take it back to, say, 3 years when you had your first pitch
Okay.
at open mic. So, how was that experience?
Okay. It was a very scary experience. It was my first pitch, and I had never pitched before then. I didn't even know I was pitching. But the good thing about it was that during the event, they taught us a bit about, elevator pitch and all. And so I remember going to the bathroom. I'll go to the bathroom. I looked for a bathroom that nobody was using during the event. I'll go there, I'll look at the mirror, I'll continue saying my pitch over and 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 again. With my heart beating, I'm about to come out of my chest.
This time feeling.
I was really scared. And as God will have it, we had a pair of shoes we wanted to deliver to a customer in Ikoyi, right? And the event was holding around Ikoyi. So I went to that pair of shoes that day, and the plan was that after the event, I'll just take the pair of shoes and deliver it to the client, right? So we were going to do this pitch against, I can't remember whether we were up to like 20 contestants. And I was like, what's going to make my pitch interesting? I have, and then I remember, oh, I have a pair of shoes. I have a pair of shoes. and so I walked up the stage with my pair of shoes. It was you need that element of surprise. You need that something that you get people like, oh.
Okay, what's she going to say?
And then I can remember the page, and I was like, shoes. Everyone wears them. But do you know that Nigeria imports over 20 million pairs of shoes in a year? It was amazing because it was like a 1 minute pitch. So I had like 60 seconds to pass
say everything,
and
to give all details.
And I didn't have to say a lot of things. I just said that, just put the shoes out, talk about this data, talk about the fact that, this is what we do at the Footwear Academy. We have a lot of demand. If we had money, we'll do more, finish, and everybody loved it. It was so exciting. I think it was I won't say it's my best pitch, but I'll say it was a memorable experience for me because, I had just resigned from a 9 to 5 job, and I was just new to entrepreneurship. I didn't even know what a pitch deck looked like. I didn't know any of these things. So it was really exciting that, and at the end of the day, everybody was like, oh, Footwear Academy, it was everywhere. It was so exciting. I was like, oh, this is so cool. I'm going to start pitching from now on. And after that event, I was pitching everywhere.
Yeah.
Pitching
Speaking
everywhere.
about it, yeah, speaking about pitching everywhere, I remember you also had one at Tech Point, and everybody knows Tech Point
Oh, okay.
is for technology.
Yeah.
And then, how did it feel
Yeah.
like bringing shoes to a place where obviously we're supposed to talk about technology? So, how was that experience too?
Oh my God, that first point experience was another life-changing experience for me and for our team and for our business because we had a 3-day boot camp. And during the boot camp, first of all, I when I applied, I sent it. I thankfully I was friends with Adewale on Facebook. So when I wanted to apply, I saw that the application had ended. So I sent him a message and I was like, "Oh, I wanted to apply to this. I just saw this late, and it has ended. And I saw that you guys have selected. He was like, yeah, 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 they've done everything." I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, wow. Anyway, no problem. Only for him to reach out to me like a week later to say, "What were you going to pitch?" I was like, "Oh, okay, okay."
Still
I
room.
just like, so he gave me an opportunity to like, pitch to him, and I right there I was talking about an e-commerce website for shoes and all shoemaking materials and all of that, where shoemakers can access shoemaking materials and all. And I was like, okay, interesting. That I think they had one more slot and they were willing to give it to us. And because they told us, okay, told me to send him a pitch deck or something. And I didn't have a pitch. I sent one horrible looking worded pitch deck. It had a lot of words, no pictures. And I sent it to him. And he gave us the opportunity to come in directly and join the boot camp. He said he wanted another perspective, something that wasn't all software, 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 right?
Yeah,
And
that's different.
and he gave us the opportunity. But oh my God, I have never felt so small in that boot camp. I felt so small. I felt so stupid. I felt
So much,
I
so
went
much.
I literally would go to the bathroom and want to cry. Why? Because when I came in, I saw all these other guys, and they were all guys. I was the only female one. Then secondly, they all had experience of amazing pitch decks. They knew how to
Yeah,
pitch. They knew the investor, they knew all the words.
in and
They knew
out.
they knew what was traction. They knew what was this. They knew what was fund. They knew what people were, and they were putting in all these slogans. And I felt so stupid. Like I even used to ask myself. I was asking myself, what am I doing here? Before the judges, they were bringing in judges to speak to us. It was a 3-day boot camp, so we'll pitch between and to the judges, and then they'll give us feedback. And I was already asking myself, what am I doing here? When I put up my slide, and it had a lot of words. It was it was really silly, honestly, looking back now. And one of the judges asked me, "What are you doing here?"
Whoa.
Yeah, I, it was a question I was already asking myself. And I had to go back and ask Adewale, "Please, can I ask you a question?" And he said, "Yeah. Why did you choose us? Like, I feel out of place. I don't think I should be here. I don't." And he told me, Chidinma, I believe so much in what you're doing. I don't think that I don't think you have like a big idea of what technology can do yet for your business. But I think you can figure it out. And that's one of the reasons why we sat down and we said, okay, let's give your team a chance to do this. And we think you can figure it out in these 3 days. And that just gave me the encouragement. And we had this conversation because he was going to the island and I live on the island. And, I was coming all the way from the island to Yaba and I hitched a ride with him. And so I was asking him this question along the way. So he was even giving me an idea of how he started Checkpoint and really motivating me. So I would go home, I'll come back, I'll tell Ben, my husband, my co-founder as well, and tell him, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. I'm going to go and disgrace myself and our business in front of 1,000 people because they were saying 1,000 people were going to attend the event. I don't think we should. I think I should stop now. I'm not going. In fact, the next day I woke up, I said, I'm not going to this boot camp. I don't think I'm supposed to be here. You would know this kind of boot camp where everybody, like the judges will so much lambast me about my slide, about this, that all the other participants will come and start helping me. Like, okay, okay, why not do it this way? Like I was everybody's case study. It was funny. And just the last day of the boot camp, just a day before the event, I was on my way home. I even missed my bus stop. I was actually in a bus, and I was thinking and researching and thinking about what other people are doing in the footwear industry, how technology can come in. I missed my bus stop. I was so engrossed in what I was doing. I missed my bus stop. By the time I knew I was like, oh, stop me. And I had to go back home. I had gotten an idea of a 3D shoe customization website where customers can just come in, be able to design the shoes that they want, and then it will be designed by different shoemakers in Africa. So we were like thinking of being like an Uber for shoemakers. I know it's funny, but we're just thinking, oh, why don't we train people and then put them, and then we had a whole idea about how it was going to work. And I quickly put up like a PowerPoint presentation. I spent the whole night working on it. And the next morning, I called a friend, one of my best friends, and I told her that, oh, that can she come and help me prepare? Because I absolutely just put up this and I've not practiced on how to pitch it. She came with me. We went to the venue. The event was going to start by 9. We went to the venue around 6 a.m. From 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., she and my husband, Bentley, they were drilling me and they made me cram the entire slide. Like I crammed every single thing. And there was a checkpoint team already told us that there were going to be like 2 screens in front of us. And so you don't have to cram your slides, right? You just have to look at the slides. And there's going to be a slide at your back. There's going to be like a big screen at your back and 2 in front of you. So you don't have to keep looking back. Just have your mic and speak freely. And I told them, oh, don't worry, I don't have to cram. They said, no, you must cram it. So they made me cram it. And I was the second speaker. I went up the stage and the screens in front of me were blank. Like they were having issues at that time. And I was
no way.
It was crazy. But I was already prepared. Yeah. I already had everything in my head. In fact, we had even practiced to the point of where I would smile, where I would
that's a lot of practice.
Where I would drop punchlines. Like I had already practiced, I was ready, and I killed the speech. It was amazing. It was an amazing speech. Because when I came down, everybody was like, "That was amazing. That was amazing." I think it was one of my best speeches ever. I didn't win.
Bomber.
I didn't win. I didn't win the 1 million naira. It was the 1 million naira competition, right? I didn't win. My friend was so pained. She was like, "No, we tried." I felt like a winner. I didn't win so bad.
It was pivotal.
Like I have, I have a whole new idea. Like this bootcamp has brought in something new. I now have an idea of how technology works or how tech people think, how investors, because they brought in a lot of investors come and drill us. I came out of that experience, that 3-day bootcamp, like a whole new entrepreneur, like a whole new person. And my friend was already mourning the fact that we didn't win 1 million naira, but I was not sad. I was happy because I felt like a winner. I felt like, wow, like I nailed the pitch. I got an idea. I won, right? This was January 2018. I used the same idea and applied for the Proudly Made in Aba Hackathon in February 2018. The very next month, we got shortlisted, came to Aba in March 2018 and won $50,000 with the same idea, just a bit of refining and all of that. In fact, at the boot camp, at the Proudly Made in Aba Hackathon, when I stood up to pitch, all the guys were like, Chidinma is giving us a run for our money. Like I was very confident. I was not there to play. It was only guys. I was only female there as well. And this time I was prepared. This time I was like, this money, you're coming.
This is for me.
So this money is coming. I usually 1 million naira, but I want $50,000. It's the same idea, but just because I had now been prepared. I was now ready, yes. And my husband was now there as well. My husband came with me. So 2 heads are better than 1. So there were questions the judges were asking us at the Proudly Made in Aba Hackathon that Ben had answers to, and we just gave each other strength, and so that was just it. It's amazing. Telling it now is just really interesting.
Very, very interesting, and I can see you like to do a lot of retrospecting. And what would you say, do you have regrets? What are your biggest challenges so far since you started up until this very time?
Oh, I don't have regrets. Okay. I don't know. I'm not much of a person that regrets a lot of things because, like I told you, when things happen, Ben and I, my husband is Ben, his name is Bentley, we always, sit back, nurse our wounds, take the lessons out of there and get up. So we've had different instances where in our business where we've had to close shop. When I mean close shop, pause. Like we have to like pause for a while and then look at places where we're doing things wrong, see if there are times, if there are things that we can do better. And the biggest challenge that we've had was our team. We growing a team was difficult at that time. So in 2018, December 2018, we had to close our business for a month and start over. Like, let go of the team, start over. In 2019, we let go of the team and start over. And every time we're starting over, it's just both of us starting over again. And by the time we got to 2020 last year, we decided to try a different approach to our team building. So what we started before we would hire a team like experienced staff, start dealing with their issues and all of that. Now what we did was that we were like, oh fine, we've launched shoemaking in Italy. The money we got from the crowd we made about grant, we took it, we went to Italy, we launched shoemaking, and then we came back. So 2020, we said we have this shoemaking knowledge, so we're no need to start hiring team members with their baggages and they're already set in their ways and all of that. All these old shoemakers and the rest of them. I have 50 years in this industry. No, sir, do it this way. No. Okay.
Yeah.
Train this student. No. So we said, okay, no problem. So what we did was that we did a call for internship and we had age specifications and we said this age to this age, blah, blah, blah. And we brought in our own team members on book. Exactly. And we did a trainer program for them. So what we did was that we took these interns into a trainer program, taught them how to teach shoemaking, taught them shoemaking. And now we have an amazing team of young people, that are ready to evolve, ready to learn, ready to do the next big thing. And we don't have a team problem anymore. In fact, we keep expanding. We grew from last year, we trained, how many people did we train? I think we started with 3 people and now have a team of 10. So I was still looking for, we're still expanding. We were able to do so much last year. We broke even. We moved into a bigger office space. We're even about moving to another bigger office space. We're growing, and I would say that the biggest problem we ever had was the team. And as soon as we solved that problem, our business just started, really, really growing.
Scaling up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking about expanding, you are currently in Aba, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you see your business expanding beyond just Aba very soon, say Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, other places? Or for now, it is not part of your agenda?
Yes, we moved from Lagos. We're in Lagos and then we moved to Aba, right? So, yeah, there are plans to expand into another city, not Lagos, but I will not be able to expose that now.
Yes.
Expanding to another city. We're expanding to another city, and we now do bag making. So there are other parts of our business where we're also going to be expanding our skill acquisition centers and all. There's so many things in the works. This is a busy year for us, honestly, and there's so many things that we're still working with our mentors to flesh out and seeing if we're ready for investment and all, because we've been pushing investors like, hold on. We're not ready yet. So we're still trying to see, do we need money for this now? Is this time to expand into this and all? There's so many things in the works, honestly, but expanding, are we going to eventually expand into other cities in Nigeria? Yes, we have to. There's a lot of demand for it. Although we have students traveling from different parts of Nigeria, even other parts of Africa, coming to Aba to learn shoemaking. We have a student accommodation, so it's not a problem. And we're currently doing that, but very soon we would have to eventually set up training centers in at least some of the geopolitical zones to serve the market there.
I remember one time going through your websites, it was clear, you wrote clearly that you have the vision of training about 1,000 people. Yeah,
Okay.
so how far into that vision have you gone? Or is it still work in progress?
I'll say 1/4. We
Oh,
have
one
trained,
quarter.
yeah, it's 1/4 now. We have trained 250. Um, there are plans to train, and there are plans to train more. And the thing is, because we have a model where we have group training projects and we have private training classes. So private training classes, they run all year round. Students can sign up at any time. Then for the group training projects, we meet like foundations, government, and pitch to them to sponsor a group training project in their communities. And so we have all of that. So we last year we did 150, 150, yeah, we trained 150 people last year. So yeah, so we're hoping to do even more this year. We have some proposals that we're hoping for approvals, and if they get approved, then yeah, we'll be able to train even more people. Yeah, that's our vision.
So I was also going to ask who inspires you apart from Bentley, because obviously he seems to be your greatest inspiration. But apart from him, who also
Bentley,
inspires you?
Jacinda Ardern.
Okay.
Jacinda Ardern is the Prime Minister of New Zealand,
Yes, yes, yes.
and I think she is amazing. I just really think how I just really see how she's able, like, you know, she's a leader and then she's still like a very human leader. She's very accessible. She's very intelligent, like how she's able to solve some of the problems in New Zealand. And I follow her, and even my friends say, "Oh, Chidinma, you're obsessed with this woman. What is it about her?" And I just love the fact that she's not
Like a
flashy.
model.
She doesn't have a police entourage following her everywhere. Exactly. Like she goes to secondary schools, and and she'll sit on the floor with the students. And this is the prime minister, right? And she's hearing what they have to say. And I see myself doing that one day. Maybe not being a prime minister, but being able to like being close to the people, being able to solve problems that are in my community, that is in my country. And I think she inspires me. She's one of the people that inspires me. Although I have in different times I've sought inspiration from I have inspiration from different paths, right? But I think she's one of the people that really, really inspires me right now at this stage of my life, right? And then for people that keep me guided, I have a mentor, Jane Oma. She keeps me guided. Like whenever I feel like right now,
Overwhelmed.
we are in a stage of, we're in a stage, yeah, we're in a stage growth where we have to make a lot of important decisions. You know, I am grateful for the fact that we have a mentor like her, that we could talk about a lot of things and then we can sit down, plan, agree, and yeah. So I have somebody that inspires me. Then I have a mentor that guides me. So I think those women are like two of the most important women in my group.
And I'd also like to ask, would you consider your winning in Made in Aba like a milestone that made you sure that you were on the right track? Or do you have any other thing that made you feel like you were on the right track with the Footwear Academy?
I think that even after we won, we had a hard year in 2018 as well because of the same issue we had. And in 2019, we had a hard year as well. So at different stage, like building, when you start building a business, like for the first 3 years, you're going to ask yourself a lot of questions if you're in the right track, honestly. Especially the first year, which is the hardest. Then you move on to the second year, which is also very hard. Move on to the third year. Like there are days that I remember asking Bentley, like, waiting send those start to do this thing. I don't know. Like, why can't you just go and get a job? Like sometimes I would even sometimes even say, my mates are earning this amount right now,
Yeah.
right? Why can't why don't I just go and get a job? I'm qualified to do all of this. But then something great happens like this hackathon that we win. or a proposal that you put in like maybe many months ago finally comes true, and then it starts making sense. Like, okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, you know. So you would always ask yourself a lot of questions like this, but I don't think we ask ourselves that question anymore, because we've done this for 3-4 years now, and we've come to the realization that um, we no longer ask ourselves, oh, are we in the right path? No, that's not the question we're asking ourselves. Our questions now, the questions we don't ask ourselves is
next 5 years, implementation,
like,
next big
yeah,
step.
exactly. Like, oh, should we move to a bigger office? Should we bring in an investor? That there are different questions we're asking now. We're not asking, are we in the right? Oh, we've invested like 3 years of our life in this now. You cannot be asking yourself if you're in the right path. It's like a 3-year-old baby that has already started. It's the business has grown.
Yeah.
It's so the baby now has more responsibilities. Yeah. So that's it.
So
So it's a
the
different
aspect
question.
of, yeah, so that means for money issues, there are investors. So basically, there is money on the ground
We
for
don't have
your business.
investors yet, funny enough. We have interested investors, but we haven't decided on if we want to do that, because we plan to, but now I'm like I told you, it's something we have to agree on and say we're ready to do this, and we know where the money is going to go into, because investment is supposed to support a growth strategy, and we're still assessing the market, assessing the risk to know if this is the right time to do this, right? So, like I told you, right now, growth stage. And so during the growth stage, there's a lot of things to consider, a lot of planning that has to go on, a lot of structure you have to put in the business before you bring in investor money to now accelerate those plans.
To make it lighter questions, because
Okay.
I've been asking a lot of. What advice do you think you're going to give youngsters, people who are trying to tread this entrepreneurship line? What advice?
Okay. Ah, you're going to be fine. My
Eventually.
advice is that you're going to be fine. Last, you'll be all right. Don't mind me. Like on a more serious note, I always say this, and like time, give it time. And I remember when we started, it was difficult. We were even in debt. That's how bad it was, and we had to meet our pastor to pray for us, because everything was falling apart. In fact, there was one time in our life where all our machines got bad at the same time. Everything. We were supposed to travel to Italy. Our visa got denied. Everything bad that could go wrong went wrong. Like, and had with our pastor to pray for us, and he just laughed and told us that you have to pass through this stage. It's a growth stage that you need to pass through, and once you pass it, you'll be fine. And we're looking at him like, oh, come and pray. Things are great. So, yeah, but he was really right. We were able to solve all those problems that we had at that time, and now we now have advice for a lot of our students, because as we train, we provide ongoing alumni support, and there are students that are passing through the stages that will pass through. And we're telling them, oh, okay, no, call this person, or you can buy this from here, or you can, we have to pass through the hard stages so that we can provide advice, support, and mentorship for the upcoming young people. And so they don't have to pass through what we have gone through. They don't have to make the mistakes that we made. And it's amazing. That's why I tell you that I don't have any regret. It was hard. It's hard. It's very hard building a business, especially in a climate like Nigeria. But you just have to know that you have to put one foot in front of the other to get to tomorrow. You can't stop. If you get tired, rest, then pick up. Like I say, we've taken 2 rests. We rested 2 times in this business. We rested in 2018. We rested in 2019. For a few weeks, a month, or 2 months. And during that resting period, we're not like, oh, of giving up. No, we're resting. We're sitting down. We're talking to mentors. We're probably taking a course. Or probably just, in the background, working and ready to relaunch. Because Bentley always says something, and it says this business doesn't die until you say it's dead. So if you're going to go through entrepreneurship, whatever it is you said you have to do it. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it in the end. And also, you need to also find a support network of people that are going to help you. When I say help you, this first open mic Africa that I won, that I took second. It was a friend that sent it to me. My friend sent it to me. They probably made in a hackathon. It was a friend that sent it to me. So I have a network of people that are saying, "Oh, Chidinma, I think you should apply for this. Oh, Chidinma, I think this would be good for you. Oh, Chidinma, I want to introduce you to Voice of America. Oh, Chidinma, I want to introduce you to Investor." You just have to find yourself in that network of people that will speak to you in a room full of opportunities. And these are the things that that are going to help you move to the other space. So yeah, so just hang in there and you'll be fine.
So for the last question, this is also a lot of people know you, they know your business, they know they've seen you, they've read your articles, how you've been
a lot of people.
Yes, a lot actually. You've been featured on many many websites, what you do and everything. But we want to know you. I want to know you. What are 5 things that define you, that describe you? Yes. What are 5 things? 5 random things.
Well, random things. Oh, okay, interesting. That people don't know.
Yes, most likely that people don't know.
Okay, I'm a twin. I always start out with this. I'm a twin.
Okay.
People don't know that I have a twin sister. She's fair. She's pretty. Yeah, I'm a twin. What else? I don't know. I don't know. I think that was the only one. I'm a mother now. My baby is 5 months old. He's already learning shoemaking, so
obviously
align and start making shoes.
You're going to make his own part of the investment deal, something.
I know, right? So we have a page for it called Baby Shoemaker. So it has like the funniest expressions, and we just said, "Oh, this is really interesting." I'm going to like we call him Boss Baby because he has like the funniest expressions and all. Okay, third thing about me is I'm a Christian. I never I'm very proud of because it keeps me guided. At least I think God is my biggest inspiration. I spend time if you probably chat me up around in the midnight, I'll probably be awake. Either I'm breastfeeding, but I'm also reading a book, a Christian book, or reading the Bible, or basically, it helps me stay guided. Then what's the fourth thing I'll say? I love movies. So my stress relief is movies. I come. So and then I love comedy movies. So I think action movies are too stressful for me. I watch it, but it's stressful. So I
have the no-brainers.
Yeah, I don't want to think so much. I think a lot during the day, I'm thinking while making decisions. But so I want to go back and watch a movie that will make me laugh and forget about my problems.
Ease everything off.
And the problem with having a spouse that is that's also your business partner is that work never ends. So it's like we're still talking, this deal, this person,
dining table, month.
It doesn't end. So I really want work to end when I'm watching a movie. I don't watching a movie and thinking, he's gonna die, or no, I don't want to. Nobody should die. Everybody should be alive and make me laugh. So and then the 15, I don't know what the 15 is. I'm inspired by a lot by mentees. I have a lot of mentees and they're doing amazing things and it makes me happy. One of the fulfilling times of my life was last year when we graduated 150 students from different parts, like 300 in Aba, 15 in Hiala, and most of these people have gone on to open up their businesses. And I was really fulfilled. Ben and I were really fulfilled. I think it was one of the most interesting parts of our lives. The fact that we had we trained young people and they were doing amazing things. And I think it was like something that made us realize that, this is for us, this is something we want to continue doing and we want to expand on this and
value you give.
All the problems that these achieving us here is worth it. So yeah, so that's the 5 things about me.
Very, very nice. Interesting. So I think at this point, it is a very good time for us to thank you very much for joining us on the series and being the icebreaker for us.
Thank
I've personally learned a lot, and I'm sure a lot of people would also be inspired by your story and very relatable things, very, very relatable. And we're very thankful that you decided to honor
Yeah, I'm
our.
very human.
Thank you very
So,
much.
you know,
Yeah.
very human, very Nigerian, very
Yeah.
Igbo.
Yeah,
So thank you for
proudly.
having me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in Aba, so Abu Mwaba,
Yeah.
so you have to when I first came in here, when I first came in here,
Okay.
culture shock because I grew up in Lagos. So after a while I had to like, you have to everybody shouts at you
Eating
here.
all
People will
over.
shout at you in your car, so you have to shout at them, but they have to be so Nigerian here.
Hey, typical Lagos.
So I'm telling you, no, but oh my god, but I typically really love being here, and yeah. So, but thank you for having me. I always like sharing my story so that young people can see that you know I didn't come from a rich background. You could totally do what I've done, and there's nothing to it really.
Thank you very much.
All right,
And
all
with
right.
that,
Thank you for
that'll be
having
all.
me.